BBC Radio Guernsey.
21 minutes past 8 this weekend. The Guernsey Raiders will be back on the pitch as they take on Bury in St Edmunds on Saturday. They're playing away, but fans will still be able to watch the game at home because it's going to be live streamed for the first time ever. Joining me now is the Director of Rugby, Jordan Reynolds, and the Chair of Guernsey Raiders, Andrea Harris. Morning to you both. Thanks for being here today.
How you doing?
Morning.
Morning.
Andrea, just starting with you, why did you want to implement this live streaming of the games, and why was this important for you?
Well, I mean, it's been obviously a long time coming that we haven't been able to provide a match day experience for members who haven't been able to travel away to games. And so we think it's important to be able to implement this live streaming to get some people down to the clubhouse on a match day that's away, to give some support to the club and support the boys from afar.
Yeah, this must be an exciting sort of development for you as well, Jordan, and the team, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just something slightly different. We have actually looked at this previously, but didn't have the means, and then COVID hit. So we put it on stop for a while, but we just thought it was a great opportunity now to get people. And look, there seems to be the appetite for it as well. So happy to service it.
Andrea, how's this going to work then? I suppose people can watch from home, but in the clubhouse as well. But do you go onto the website and is it a thing that you purchase and you can stream from home? Is that how it works?
This being the first one, we're just basically screening it in the clubhouse. So it won't be widely available for people to sort of sit in their lounge room and watch at home. But we're encouraging people to come down to the clubhouse, get some friends together. We're putting on a lunch, sort of a curry lunch, and get people together in the clubhouse to support the club as a group. In time, it may be that we can develop it further so that it is maybe a subscription-based service or something that members have access to outside of the clubhouse. But as a starting point, we really want to try and get people together, have a social Saturday afternoon, and get down to Foots Lane and watch the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan, I know that we've spoken a lot before about the home support and how important it is as well. I suppose it will spur you on as well, knowing that there'll be a group of people watching back at home as well in the clubhouse for the boys.
Yeah, and quite often we actually have a few supporters come away with us, but generally they're people's families that are living in England. And, we're constantly getting asked about, the opportunity to possibly travel. Now, with the expense of travelling at the moment, what we're trying to do is cater for them as well. So people want to see the away games. We need to service that as well. So hopefully this can satisfy that thirst.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrea, you mentioned as well about developing it further. When it goes, I suppose this is the first weekend that it happens, but would you like to see this become a more common thing and perhaps extend it out so that people could potentially watch from home as well, as you mentioned?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we really just want to extend the reach and accessibility of the game to as many people as possible. And, there are a lot of people that have perhaps lived in Guernsey in the past and have now relocated to other places. We know that when the Siam Cup is live streamed, that people as far as Australia and New Zealand are tuning in to watch. So it'd be absolutely wonderful if we could get to a point where we're able to reach sort of our global Raiders family to be able to watch the live streams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose developing it perhaps even further to include the women's game as well. Is that perhaps on the radar?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, all of these things are things that we're taking into consideration, and hopefully we'll have, a successful first few goes at it with the men. And then as time goes on, we might be able to look to develop it further into the women's game as well.
Jordan, how are you feeling ahead of the weekend? I suppose that's a big question, isn't it? Ahead of the game.
Yeah, we're coming off 2 wins. That's a first for us this season, so it's a positive outlook on it. Tough game going up to Berries, but they're always really close contested, kind of battles. So we'll have to see how many injuries we picked up from the weekend. But I think there's a little bit of positive running through the squad at the moment, and we love getting stuck into Berries.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you still unclear about those injuries and how that could impact the starting 15?
Yeah, look, I think we got through Saturday pretty well. But the general thing with a collision sport like we do, that you get hangovers on about the second, third day. So we'll just see how that fares. But I'm hoping that we'll have all the boys out for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. As we were hearing earlier, Andrea, as Jordan said, it's something that wanted to be implemented a little while ago. How pleased are you the fact that this is just going to make the sport more accessible and more people will be able to watch it on a weekly basis, I suppose?
Yeah, no, extremely excited. To be able to extend their offering of the club to give people a social space to come and interact. We know that a lot of families get a lot out of coming down on match day and watching the matches, and hopefully that can translate into coming down on away day games and watching in the clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose, Jordan, as well, big match for you this weekend. Start the Six Nations as well, so that'll be we'll be having an eye on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some fantastic games coming up. I think Six Nations is one of the top sporting fixtures in rugby to be viewing, and we know we have a huge amount of people that have interest in the Six Nations, so to combine live streaming and the Six Nations in one, it's just the perfect package really for any rugby fan.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. I suppose, great timing for this thing. You could see it as competing with it, but also just adding another option for people to watch rugby, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Having the Six Nations games on around the Raiders fixtures as well is absolutely fantastic. And also we've actually got a fixture next Sunday as well. We've actually got the ladies playing at home with the Six Nations games being screened as well. So we're sort of trying to get as much sort of interaction as possible and trying to drum up that support to get down to the clubhouse, because obviously from a financial perspective as well, being able to open the clubhouse and generate additional revenue, which we haven't been able to before, will help. Every pound helps at the moment, because with rising travel costs, rising utility costs, and everything that everybody's experiencing at the moment, we as a club also need to look to different ways to increase our revenue as well.
Yeah, Jordan, I know that we've spoken about that before as well, about the finances and things, like Andrew saying, just a great way to sort of raise a few more funds, because it is so expensive at the moment.
Yeah, running a big club like ours is huge, and our reach and how far we support multiple teams within our club, that is the biggest factor for us. So we've got to find other ways that we can generate more money so we can stay in the frame that we're in, and that's the toughest task that we face at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best of luck for this weekend, and thanks for coming in, and thanks for being on as well, Andrea. That is Director of Rugby Jordan Reynolds there, and the Chair of Guernsey Raiders, Andrea Harris. And the game will be broadcast at the clubhouse in Foots Lane on Saturday. Kick off at 1 o'clock, and you can head along there for more details.